Walk down the cleaning aisle at any grocery store, and you will walk right past a plain cardboard box that costs about $5. No lightning bolt on the label. No warning about melting your face off. That box has been doing its job on that shelf since 1874, a good 50 years before anyone bottled up the harsh stuff. And most people never learned what I am about to tell you. 1 cup of what is inside that box will chew through a grease clog, just as well as the $20 jug of chemicals sitting right beside it. No heat, no fumes, and no quietly eating away at the very pipes you are trying to save. I will show you what it is, how to use it step by step, and the one kind of clog it will not touch. Stay to the end, because I will tell you the real reason a plumber will charge you extra or walk away from your sink completely. And it has nothing to do with the clog. Before we get into it, subscribe. We share old house fixes that save you money every single week. And tell me in the comments which drain is giving you trouble, the kitchen sink, the bathroom, or the shower. So why does a $5 box beat a jug of acid? To answer that, you have to understand what is actually clogging your pipe, because it changes everything about how you fix it. Almost every slow drain is not some mystery object jammed in the pipe. It is grease. In the kitchen especially, it is fats, oils, and grease. In the trade, we just call it fog. Every time you rinse a greasy pan, a little warm fat goes down the drain, looking like harmless liquid. Then it hits the cooler pipe wall further down, and it does exactly what candle wax does when it drips onto a cold holder. It stops moving, it sets, it sticks. Now watch what happens over months and years. That grease coats the inside of your pipe in a layer, and every wash after that, more food bits and soap scum catch on the sticky layer. The pipe narrows. Think of plaque building up in an artery. The opening gets smaller and smaller, until one day, a single coffee ground or one noodle closes it off completely, and now your water is just standing in the sink. In the bathroom, it is a little different. There it is mostly hair, bound together with soap scum into a mat. Same idea though. Organic gunk building slowly and narrowing the pipe. And here is why that matters for what you pour down there. All of it, the grease, the soap, the food, the hair. It is all organic, and organic buildup can be broken down gently, without going nuclear on your plumbing. But the industry answer is usually to go nuclear anyway. Pay attention here, because this one detail explains the whole thing. The aggressive drain cleaners come in basically 2 flavors. The acid openers, straight sulfuric acid, which can run past $70, and the lye-based products, sodium hydroxide, the same chemical used to make soap. Now the part nobody puts on the label in plain English. Both of those work partly by generating heat. Concentrated lye hitting water and grease down in your trap. That reaction can climb toward boiling right there inside the pipe. And heat is a real problem. Your white plastic drain pipe starts to soften at around 140 degrees. Boiling water off the stove is over 200 degrees. A reaction cooking near boiling, sitting in a thin plastic trap. It can soften the joints and warp the tubing. And on older metal pipe, it pits the surface. The acid stuff is even worse on metal. It attacks it directly. And think about this for a second. What happens when that harsh cleaner does not work? Because plenty of times, it does not fully clear the clog. Now you have a sink full of standing water with acid or lye dissolved in it, just sitting there waiting. That is a caustic soup, and it is dangerous. Hold that thought, because it comes back at the end. So let us talk about the box. What is inside is sodium carbonate. On the shelf it is sold as washing soda or super washing soda. And here is the thing. Do not confuse it with baking soda. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, and it is much weaker. That vinegar and baking soda fizzy trick everybody loves. It does almost nothing for a real clog. Washing soda is the stronger cousin. And here is the piece almost nobody gets right about why it works. It is actually the same reason lye works, just gentler. Washing soda is alkaline. Not violently so, but enough. When that alkaline solution sits against a grease clog, it does something called saponification. That is a fancy old word for a simple thing. It literally turns the fat into soap. The grease stops being a sticky water-repelling plug and becomes soap, which dissolves in water and rinses away. It is the same chemistry soap makers have used for centuries. We are just running it on the clog to ungunk your pipe. And this is the beautiful part. It is plenty strong for grease, but nowhere near as harsh as lye. It does not generate that violent boiling heat. It does not attack your metal pipes the way acid does. It is even listed as safe for septic tanks, which tells you right away it is not scorched earth chemistry. Let me put the money side by side, because that is really the story here. That box is about $5, and it gives you a dozen treatments. Call it 50 cents a go. The branded jug beside it runs from $5 up past $20 for the big size, and it is a 1 or 2 use jug. Skip both and call somebody out. And a grease clog runs $150 to $350 versus $20 versus $300. That is the whole game, and the 50-cent option is the one that is gentlest on your house. Before I walk you through using it, a quick word. The difference between a cheap fix that truly works and a cheap patch that only hides the problem. That is the kind of thing worth knowing before somebody sells you work you do not need. If that is useful to you, subscribe and stick around. Alright, here is exactly how you run this. 5 steps, none of them hard. Step 1. Bail out the standing water. If your sink is full and not draining, get most of that water out first. You want the washing soda landing on the clog, not diluting into a full basin. A little water left in there is fine. You just do not want a full sink. Step 2. Pour 1 cup of washing soda straight down the drain. 1 cup, if it is a double sink, do the side that is clogged. Let it settle down into the pipe. Step 3. Follow it with about a quart of the hottest water from your tap. Hot tap water, not boiling water off the stove. And I mean this. Do not pour rolling boiling water down a plastic drain or into a porcelain fixture. Remember that softening point. Boiling water can warp the plastic and crack the porcelain. And now you have turned a clog into a real repair bill. Hot tap water is plenty to help the washing soda do its work. Step 4. Walk away. Give it 30 to 60 minutes. This is not the fizzy quick trick. The washing soda needs contact time, sitting against that grease to convert it. Go and do something else. Longer is better on a stubborn one. Step 5. Flush it through with more hot tap water and see how it drains. On a light clog, 1 round does it. On a real grease plug built over years, you may need to run it twice, or even leave a second dose in overnight. That is normal. You are dissolving something that took years to build. Give it a couple of rounds before you decide it is not working. After you clear it, that drain runs perfect and you forget all about it. But the grease never stopped coming. So here is how you keep from ever needing the full treatment again. Habit 1, and this is the big one. Stop putting grease down the drain. Bacon fat, pan drippings, cooking oil. Do not rinse it down while it is warm and liquid, because it does not stay liquid. It solidifies right on your pipe wall. Pour it into an old can or jar. Let it harden. Throw it in the trash. That one habit alone prevents most of the kitchen clogs there are. Habit 2. Once a month, run a maintenance dose before things ever get slow. Half a cup of washing soda, a quart of hot tap water. Let it sit 20 minutes. Flush. You are not clearing a clog. You are stopping one from forming. Scrubbing the walls clean before the buildup ever narrows the pipe. Cheap insurance. Habit 3. Catch the hair in the bathroom before it goes down. A $2 mesh strainer over the shower and sink drains stops those mats from ever forming. You empty it into the trash. That is it. I have watched people spend $300 on a hair clog. A $2 screen would have prevented. Do those 3 things, and that box lasts you a year as backup under the sink. Now, one detail about what this stuff can and cannot do. Skip this, and you will be standing over a sink that will not clear, wondering what went wrong. Washing soda destroys organic clogs. Grease, soap scum, food sludge, hair, and slime mats. That is the stuff it converts and rinses away. What it will not do is dissolve an object. A dropped toy, a bottle cap, a chunk of something solid, a wipe that went down. No chemical will make that disappear. Not safely. That is a physical blockage and it needs a physical fix. A snake or pulling the trap. So if you have run 2 full rounds and it has not budged at all, stop pouring. You are probably dealing with an object, not grease. And this next part is important. This is a drain fix. It is not a toilet fix. A toilet clogs by completely different physics. The fix there is a flange plunger or a toilet auger, not chemistry. Do not dump washing soda in the toilet expecting a miracle. Wrong tool for the job. Now the safety lines, and these ones matter. Never mix washing soda with anything else. Do not pour it in on top of vinegar. Do not mix it with bleach. And this is the big one. Never pour it down a drain that already has a commercial chemical cleaner sitting in it. You do not know what you are creating in a pipe you cannot see. If somebody already poured a chemical cleaner in and it is standing, that drain is a hazard, and washing soda is not the answer for it. One more, keep it off aluminum. Alkaline chemistry reacts with aluminium, so no aluminium drains or pots under the stream. Keep it plain and simple. 1 cup down the drain, hot tap water and nothing else. Let me hit the questions I get all the time, because your situation is probably one of these. What if it drains slow but is not fully clogged? Perfect. That is the easiest case and the best time to use this. A full cup hot tap water, let it sit an hour. Washing soda eats right through it. What if I have old galvanized or cast iron pipes? You are fine. This is one of the reasons I like it for older homes. It is not acid, so it is not pitting your metal. Safe to run monthly, even on old plumbing. What if I am on a septic system? Also fine. It is listed septic safe. It will not kill off the bacteria in your tank the way harsh cleaners can. Just do not go crazy with the dose. What if the drain is not slow, it just stinks? That smell is almost always the same organic gunk, coating the pipe and going rancid. Same treatment handles it. Half a cup hot tap water, let it sit. It converts the greasy film feeding the smell, instead of just perfuming over the top. If the smell is from a drain you rarely use, it might just be a dried out trap. The fix there is even simpler. Run some water down it to refill the trap. But if it is your kitchen sink stinking, it is grease, and the box handles it. What if nothing happens at all, even after 2 rounds? Then you are probably not looking at grease. Stop pouring more chemistry at it. Time to physically snake it, or pull the trap under the sink. 2 slip nuts and a bucket. Honestly, a 15-minute job. And what if water comes up in more than one fixture at once? Or backing up from a floor drain? Now stop. That is not a single drain clog. That is most likely your main line. Washing soda in one sink will not touch a main line problem. And that is one where the money is actually worth spending. Knowing the difference between the cheap fix and the real repair is the whole skill. Alright, the thing I promised you at the top. Why a plumber will either add a charge to your drain or flat out refuse to work on it. And why it has nothing to do with how bad the clog is. It is that caustic soup. Remember the standing water full of dissolved acid, or lie I told you to hold onto. When a harsh cleaner goes down and does not clear, that chemical does not disappear. It is sitting right there in the standing water, in your sink or your trap. Now the plumber shows up. The moment he opens that trap or starts to plunge, that caustic liquid can splash onto his hands, his arms, his face, his eyes. A lot of us carry the scars to prove it. So plenty of plumbers will ask you flat out, did you pour anything down there? And if the answer is yes, they add a hazard charge, make you wait, or decline the job. Think about what that tells you. The expensive chemical is not just harder on your pipes. It can turn a simple job into a bigger, more dangerous, more expensive one. And sometimes it means nobody wants to help you at all. The gentle box does the same work. And if it ever fails, all you have in the water is a cup of laundry booster, not a hazard. That is the real reason the cheap old fix beats the expensive new one. It was never really about the clog. So keep that $5 box under the sink and save the pricey calls for the jobs that truly need one. Step back a second, because this is bigger than one box of soda. It was never washing soda versus a jug of chemicals. It is prevention versus panic. And there is no money in prevention. So nobody runs an ad telling you a $5 box beats the pros and treats your pipes better. But now you know. Keep it under the sink, run it once a month, and let the other guy pay $300. If this saved you a service call, subscribe and turn on the bell. We share a money-saving home fix like this every week. Tell me in the comments which drain you are going to treat first, and share this with someone who is about to buy the $20 jug. Keep that money in your pocket. I will see you in the next one.